Hi there. I am looking at this particular property. I'm considering making an offer on it. The story behind it is a friend of mine in Indianapolis sent me a text message with a link to this listing. This property has been on the market for 1 day. It is a duplex, and currently it is renting for a total of $2,800 per month. The sellers are asking $340,000 for it. My thinking is if I could buy it for around $300,000, so like just a slight hair north of the 1% rule, I can make it work as a 6 cap. That's just a quick back of the envelope calculation, of course. I would have to actually look at the numbers on this and do deeper due diligence, but for the purposes of making an offer, that was my ballpark first thought. Anyway, I contacted the agent. He said that the sellers are asking for the highest and best offer by 5 p.m. today. And so I want to talk out loud through what I see when I look at these photos. So right now I'm just on Zillow, a standard public-facing website. And here's what I see when I look at this. Whenever you're looking at photos of a duplex online, one of the first and most confusing questions is, which unit am I looking at? And so oftentimes when I'm looking at photos, I'll look for clues that at least cue me into which of the two units am I seeing a photo of. One of the major clues right here, look at this ceiling. And again, I've never seen this property in person, but it looks like a drop ceiling. You know, it's not a drywalled ceiling. That concerns me right off the bat. You know, why did they do this? Has there been water damage? That's one of the things, if we go under contract and I was doing due diligence, that's one of the things I would talk to an inspector about. But of course, the time to handle that is after you are under contract. There's no use fretting about it prior to going under contract. All right, so I noticed that right away. You can tell, look at the design of this air vent right here. This is clearly an older house. And of course, that would be written on the listing as well, the year of home construction. But it's obvious looking at this. Just that alone tells me it's an older house. Good windows, lots of good natural lighting. That's a plus. Low ceilings, that's a minus. Standard, again, I see the ceiling. It's interesting, they've got a couple of bricks here that have been painted. So that's a bit of a bummer. Otherwise, I don't see anything of particular note here. Look at these doorknobs, by the way. See these these are clearly older doorknobs. It tells me that this is an older building that has not been recently updated. So in listings, when a listing says that a place has been recently updated, there's a wide range of interpretations as to what that could possibly mean. What this tells me is that their update is maybe remove and replace stuff. Perhaps they got a new stove or a new fridge or even new kitchen cabinets. Great. You know, sometimes you'll find properties that were built in 1920 that feel like they were built in 2020 because they have done such extensive work. Typically, those properties are not good rentals because they've put in so much money that it's priced like new construction. But all of that is to say that the year that a property was constructed, particularly very old properties, does not necessarily correlate with the feeling of newness inside of it, depending on whether or not it was occupied by owner-occupants, and if so, how much money they put into it. Doorknobs like this tell me that this still retains the feel of an older building. And not that that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a thing. It's a thing to notice. Love the fact that it's brick, which means that there's less maintenance on the outside. So if this were siding, then there'd be more maintenance. Siding needs to be painted, it needs to be replaced. That doesn't mean avoid a home with siding. I certainly, you know, I've got homes with siding, but all else being equal, I prefer brick. This right here, look at that. So this is a slight warning sign to me. So they've got a guardrail going up one side of stairs, which means that they've done just the bare minimum to meet code and nothing else, right? If they wanted this to look nice, they would have it on two sides, and if they cared about the durability, they would have painted it or stained it. They have literally done the minimum to meet code, and that is all. They put this there to meet code, but they haven't painted it, they haven't stained it, which means this thing's going to fall apart sooner than later. The guardrail itself is not a red flag. It's what it says about the level of workmanship that they've done to the home. You know, what it communicates about the way that they have most likely done other things or handled other things. That's what I see when I see this handrail. Gutters look clean. That's nice. Good. I like that there's a downspout extension right here. So that downspout extension carries the water a little bit further away from the foundation. Plus, they've done a decent job of mulching. So all of that is good. All right, this clues me in quite a bit about the quote-unquote recently remodeled, which is what they've written on the listing. Clearly, they got your standard builder grade stainless steel appliances. They have the lowest end of white shaker cabinets and low end builder grade granite. Quite frankly, that's actually ideal for a rental. Most rentals, this is the lowest entry point of stainless steel and granite, which is precisely what you would want in a rental property. Look at this right here. See this electrical outlet? See how it's halfway up the wall? That indicates that the fridge probably used to live right here, which means it would have been a small fridge, because based on the size of this trash can, if you put a fridge right there, it would either have to overhang that wall or it would have to be a tiny fridge. By the way, the fact that there is this funny zigzag of these walls here indicates to me that there's something behind these walls, maybe some mechanicals, maybe something related to the other unit, but there's a reason that there's a zigzag going on here. There's something behind this. So it makes me very curious as to what the floor plan is. But anyway, I see that the kitchen overall is small. This is, especially right here, there's not a whole lot of walking space. Not a deal breaker, but it certainly is going to impact the listing. It's going to impact the competitiveness of the property. Bingo. This is my favorite photo, and here's why. First of all, take a look at this outlet. Okay, so the fridge apparently also used to live here. They've put mid-level electrical outlets all over the walls. Not that matters. I just think it's humorous. But here is what I see when I look at this photo. The first thing I do is I double check that I'm looking at the same kitchen. And the way that I can tell is see this eat here on top of the fridge? Boom, the same eat thing from here. So I know I'm looking at the same kitchen and not, at one from the other unit. Now, the next thing that I see, remember how I commented that the kitchen is small? All right, easy way to fix that. All you got to do is bust out this wall. In fact, you don't even need to take it all the way up to the ceiling. If there's a header beam, I don't know if this is a partition wall or a load-bearing wall, but if it's a load-bearing wall, if there's a header beam up here, you don't have to take it all the way up there. You can leave this. I actually, you know what? I take that back. I imagine, I don't know this for a fact, I imagine this is most likely a load-bearing wall. Leave this header beam up here. It's no big deal. And then just cut the wall at the level of the doorway. Just cut. So all you got to do is tear this out, and boom, now you've opened up the kitchen. You can add a couple more cabinets here, or you can add maybe even a small island. You can open up this kitchen to the dining area and make this an open floor plan kitchen dining area for not a whole lot of additional money. Clearly, there's been some work done. Look at the differences in flooring. So this here, this is oak flooring that runs through the dining and living room. This is very different flooring. So whatever flooring was done in the kitchen was after work. If you were to open up the kitchen, you'd have to make some decisions around that. Busting out this wall and then drawing up a floor plan that allows you to just add a couple of cabinets and a little bit of countertop and just do some very, very light work that really opens this up and makes this more modern. That's an easy and immediate way to add some value if you were to choose to do so. And the cool thing is that's optional. This place is clearly rent ready. So this is not something that you would have to do in year one. This could be you buy the property, you wait for the neighborhood to rise in value, and in year 3, year 4, year 5, you make this upgrade in order to try to capture the higher end of the rent range of the neighborhood after the neighborhood increases. That's what I see when I look at that photo. Man, the electrical is so weird here. Look at that. There's a light switch all the way over at this wall. Who did the wiring on this house? All right, this looks like an attic space room, which tells me that even though it is technically a 3-bedroom, yep, it's technically a 3-bedroom, but really you could also position it as 2-bedroom with an office. And so what that tells me is that when I'm looking at comps, I want to look at not just comps from 3-bedroom units, but also comps from 2 bedrooms plus bonus room. Those are the types of rental comps I'd be looking at. And we're back. All right. So these clearly, they've only posted photos of one of the 2 units of the duplex. So that is the other thing that I know when I look at these photos. All right. And that is my brain dump of what I see when I am looking at listing photos. Thank you for watching.